Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the English TalkNest podcast. Today, we're not just talking about English learning or motivation. We're talking about something much deeper: how to train your brain for real success in life.
That's right. And before you think this is just another think positive talk, no. We're going to help you understand how your brain actually works, how it forms habits, and how you can reprogram it to create the life you want.
Exactly. You see, every success in business, relationships, learning English, or anything else begins inside your brain. Your brain is like a muscle. The more you train it, the stronger it becomes. But most people never learn how to train it.
They train their bodies, they train their skills, but they never train their mind, and that's why they stay stuck. So today, we're going to walk you step by step through 7 ways to train your brain for success. Simple, science-backed, and powerful.
So if you're ready to change your mind and change your life, grab a coffee, take a breath, and let's begin.
Let's start with the foundation: awareness. Most people live their whole lives on autopilot. They wake up, scroll their phones, rush to work, complain, and repeat. But they never stop to ask, why do I think this way? Why do I feel this way?
Yeah. The truth is, your thoughts are running 24/7, and most of them aren't even yours. They're habits built from your past experiences, what your parents said, what teachers told you, or what society believes.
That's why awareness is the first step. You can't change what you don't notice. When you start noticing your thoughts, your emotions, your reactions, you take back control of your brain.
Think about it like driving a car. If you're asleep at the wheel, you're going to crash. But once you wake up and realize, oh, I'm the driver here, you can steer your life in any direction.
Here's a simple exercise. Every morning, before you touch your phone, take 1 minute to observe your thoughts. Ask yourself, what am I feeling right now? What's the first thought in my mind? Don't judge it. Just notice it. That's awareness training.
And the more you practice it, the more you'll realize your thoughts aren't facts. They're just patterns.
Once you see that, you can start choosing better thoughts, like choosing better food for your body.
Once you're aware of your thoughts, the next step is to reprogram them. Think of your brain as software. If it's running an old program, like I'm not good enough, I always fail, success is for others, then no matter how hard you try, you'll get the same results.
Exactly. You have to update your mental software. One of the best ways to do that is through affirmations, but not the cheesy kind where you just repeat words you don't believe. You have to say things that your brain can accept and build upon.
For example, instead of saying, I'm rich and successful when you're not, say something like, I'm learning to think like successful people, or I'm training my mind to handle success. That's believable. And it starts rewiring your brain step by step.
And repetition is key. Your brain learns through repetition, just like learning English. When you repeat positive, empowering thoughts every day, your subconscious starts to believe them. And what you believe, you act on. And what you act on becomes your reality.
Here's a trick. Every time you catch yourself thinking something negative, like, I can't do this, pause and say, that's just an old program. I'm rewriting it. You'll feel a small shift, and over time, that shift becomes transformation.
Let's talk about emotions. Most people are slaves to their emotions. They react without thinking. Someone criticizes them and they explode. Something goes wrong and they give up. But successful people, they feel emotions, but they don't let emotions control them.
That's right. Training your brain for success means learning to observe emotions, not obey them. When you feel anger, fear, or doubt, try saying to yourself, this is just energy. I can use it.
I love that, because emotions are not the enemy. They're signals. Fear tells you something matters. Anger shows your boundaries. Sadness reminds you of what you value. If you can listen instead of react, you can turn emotions into fuel.
One of my favorite examples, Thomas Edison failed over 1,000 times while inventing the light bulb. Imagine the emotions, frustration, disappointment, exhaustion, but instead of quitting, he trained his brain to reframe failure. He said, I didn't fail 1,000 times, I just found 1,000 ways that didn't work. That's emotional mastery.
So the next time you fail, don't say, I'm not good enough. Say, this is feedback. My brain is learning. That one sentence can change how you experience every setback.
All right, let's get practical. Habits. Because your habits create your future. You don't rise to the level of your goals, you fall to the level of your habits.
Exactly. And your brain loves habits because they save energy. So if you build positive habits, your brain starts helping you succeed automatically.
Here's the secret. Make habits so small, they're impossible to fail. Want to start reading? Read just 1 page a day. Want to work out? Do 1 push-up a day. It's not about intensity, it's about consistency.
And once your brain sees success, even small success, it releases dopamine, the reward chemical. That makes you feel good and you'll want to repeat the action. That's how momentum is built.
Here's a personal example. I used to struggle with journaling. I'd buy notebooks, promise myself I'd write daily, and fail after 3 days. Then I decided to write just 1 sentence a day. That's it. And now, 2 years later, journaling is automatic. Small steps build big habits.
So don't wait for motivation. Build systems. Because motivation gets you started, but habits keep you going.
Now let's talk about the big one, fear. Fear stops more dreams than failure ever will. But here's the truth. Fear isn't there to stop you, it's there to guide you.
Yes, fear shows you where your growth is. If something scares you, public speaking, starting a business, learning English, that's your brain telling you, hey, this matters, pay attention.
I used to be terrified of speaking English in front of others. I'd freeze, forget words, and feel embarrassed. But I realized my fear wasn't proof that I couldn't do it, it was proof that I wanted to do it well. So I started facing it, little by little.
That's how courage grows, not by waiting for fear to disappear, but by acting with fear. Fear doesn't mean stop, it means go carefully. Here's a mental exercise. When fear appears, ask yourself, what's the message here? Sometimes it's telling you to prepare more. Sometimes it's telling you to take the next step. Either way, fear can be your teacher.
Remember, bravery is not the absence of fear, it's the decision to keep moving even when you're scared. And the moment you act despite fear, your brain rewires. It learns that discomfort doesn't mean danger, it means growth. Now let's talk about one of the most powerful brain skills, focus. In today's world, focus is a superpower. Your attention is being attacked every second. Notifications, ads, scrolling. But successful people train focus like an athlete trains strength.
Focus is like a muscle. If you don't use it, it gets weak. If you train it, it becomes unstoppable. Start small. Spend just 10 minutes a day doing one thing with no distractions.
Exactly. Pick something, reading, studying, meditating, and tell your brain, for the next 10 minutes, this is all we're doing. When your mind wanders, gently bring it back. That's 1 rep, just like a push-up for your brain.
Over time, your ability to concentrate will grow. And when you can focus deeply, you can learn faster, think clearer, and create more. That's how people achieve incredible things. They focus longer than others.
There's a great quote, where focus goes, energy flows. If your focus is on problems, you'll feel stuck. If your focus is on progress, you'll find solutions.
So protect your focus like your most valuable treasure, because it is.
Now the final step, live like a creator, not a victim. So many people live reacting to life.
They say things like, I can't because of my past, or the world is unfair. But successful people ask, what can I create with what I have right now?
That's such a powerful mindset. When you live like a creator, you stop waiting for luck. You start
building your own luck. You take responsibility not in a heavy way, but in an empowering way.
Exactly. You might not control everything, your past, your family, your circumstances, but you always control your response. And that's where your power lives.
Here's a practical way to live as a creator. Every night, ask yourself one question. What did I create today? It could be a new idea, a better habit, a kind word, a moment of courage. When you focus on creating, your brain starts scanning the world for possibilities, not problems.
And when you live like that, even challenges become tools for growth. You stop saying, why me, and start saying, what can I learn from this?
And that's when life starts feeling lighter, freer, and full of purpose.
So let's take a deep breath and think about everything we've talked about today. Training your brain for success isn't about being perfect or never failing. It's about becoming aware of your thoughts, your emotions, and your choices, and deciding to guide them in a better direction.
Yeah, you don't have to change everything overnight. Just start with one thing, one thought, one small habit, one act of courage. Every small decision you make sends a message to your brain, this is who I want to become. And the more you repeat it, the stronger that new version of you becomes.
Remember, your brain is always listening. It's learning from every word you speak and every action you take. So speak to yourself with kindness. Feed your mind with ideas that lift you up, not drag you down. And be patient, because real change grows quietly, day by day.
Exactly. Success isn't something that happens to you. It's something you train for, with focus, awareness, and practice. Your brain doesn't care who you were yesterday, it responds to what you do today. So if you keep showing up, keep learning, and keep choosing growth, one day you'll look back and realize you've completely rewired your mind.
And that's when you'll see that success isn't just a goal, it's a way of thinking, a way of living, and a way of being. You have everything you need already inside you. You just have to train your brain to see it.
So, wherever you are right now, start. Start small. Start simple. And keep going. Because your new brain and your new life begin today.
Thanks for joining us. We hope this conversation helps you see your own potential in a new light. Remember, the more you train your brain, the more you create the life you deserve.
This is Ryan signing off with one reminder. Believe in your ability to grow. You're far more powerful than you think.
And I'm Cindy. Keep learning, keep believing, and keep training your brain for success. We'll see you in the next episode.